Bob?
Wally, I want to ask Wally a question. Huh? Did you find out what subway will get you to the Bronx? That seemed to be a recurring question during the interview yesterday. No, I haven't. I haven't had a chance to. I have some of my workers checking into that. I think
an A train, I'd always say, is.
That's probably good advice.
Sure.
But I hate to give bad advice, and if that's wrong, I don't want to be the one to say it. So I'm going to wait until I'm definitely sure, and then I will let that gentleman who was at the press conference know, and everybody else, which subway to take to the Bronx.
How's the money coming in for your campaign coffers?
So far, nothing, Ray.
You know, it's apt to...
I figured you fellas would be good for a pretty good bite, having been my employer for a number of years.
This is a bad time of the year. Everybody's getting ready with their income tax.
Oh, this is bad, Wally.
See, and everyone is, trying to round up the loose change to keep Uncle Sam happy.
Yeah, right. Well, I haven't incurred much expense yet, really, and I'll cross each bridge as I come to it.
You think you might get a nose job for the campaign, Wally?
I don't see as I need one.
Well, you ought to get it between your eyes anyway.
We just had a call from Carmine. He's in Queens. Apparently, he took Mr. Ballou's erroneous information about the F train going to the Bronx, and he's not too happy about it. So he took the F train, and he's now over there. But I guess he'll get back on the beam.
Yes, Wally is going to run, but he hasn't said what he stands for yet. He hasn't committed one way or the other on planks and so forth.
The planks is platform, but I'm sure he will by the first of next week. We are not going to co-chair the thing. I think Webley Webster has been named.
We're going to, as they say, maintain a low profile.
So is Wally. He told me
during this entire campaign.
He's going to issue his statements through third parties and kind of keep out of sight. I don't know where he got that idea, but
I'm not going to be too closely associated with this endeavor, as they say.
Well, I think it's a worthwhile idea he has, and if he.
Excuse me, I'd like to see Mr. Blue.
Well, he's not here right now, Carmine. Did you get in a little difficulty, I guess? He took the wrong subway.
He gave you the wrong number of the train or the letter there yesterday or the day before, and we're terribly sorry that you ended up at Queens instead of the Bronx.
He was sorry, too, Carmine.
So Thank you. I'll wait.
He apologized.
All right, okay.
Will you wait for him?
It's right over there in the third row. It's a nice seat, upholstered and all. Help yourself to the wine taps up front, too, Carmine.
Aren't as many people here as usual, but I guess it's early in the afternoon. Webley Webster, our literary expert, is going to be doing a book review, a dramatized book review today on Jonathan Livingston Seagull, the bestseller. And
you still on that neat thing?
Yes, I've held out.
Huh?
Yep. We'll send out for a grilled cheese a little bit later, I think.
Oh, boy.
It's tough.
I have visions of hamburgers jumping in my mind.
Well,
Group parade of hamburgers and porterhouse steaks.
Yeah.
Rib roasts.
I guess everybody does.
Pot roast. Liverwurst.
Corned beef.
Oh, sure, corned beef. See, I've had a lot of mail saying, forget jealousy and learn some other song.
Well, that's not a bad idea. You've never been able to
I never heard they play jealousy. They only heard me introduce it, or get to the first 4 bars, practically, and then
something happens, or a commercial comes up, or something. Well, it's up to you someday.
Maybe I'll play some music from the background of the Jonathan Seagull Livingston.
Oh, that would be good.
Have you made it yet?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Have you met Carmine over there? He's been trying to make contact with Ballou. You're his manager, I imagine.
Most assuredly. Yeah. No, this fellow that's posing there in the third row.
Aren't you managing Wally's campaign?
Not actively.
Huh?
Not actively. There's not too much to do. He's surrounded by these men who wear camel's hair coats and won't let me in near him.
I know that.
And it's a little sticky. So
Carmine, meet Webley Webster. He's
how do you do? It's
late again?
Connected.
What did he say?
He's not late. No, he was here on time.
No, I'm not late. Sure.
Carmine's waiting for Wally.
Oh. Well, Wally be in a little while. I saw him downstairs.
He put him on the wrong
signing autographs.
Subway car yesterday, you know.
I want to punch him in the nose.
Oh, now, come on.
Why not?
We don't want any fisticuffs around here.
Well, he gave you the wrong direction on how to get to the Bronx. I don't blame you for being mad.
Well, it's not worth a punch in the nose to a candidate like Ballou.
Hey, Wally.
Wally Ballou. Here, and I have some good bail, a lot of bail for people who are joining the bandwagon for Ballou for mayor. Les Anderson. Notice he makes his S's backwards. He writes that he hopes if I'm elected, I'll institute a pogo stick lane on Madison Avenue. For a city like New York with its ups and downs, it'll keep the population hopping. I think that's pretty good. Could be a platform plank, I suppose.
Maybe we ought to let the people who listen to Radio New York determine the planks for your campaign, Wally.
That's an idea. That might work out. The big news today is that we have the bumper stickers printed. Ballou for mayor. Yes, sir. They're ready. How about that? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And if you'd like to have a bumper sticker for your car, and they're irremovable once they're put on your bumper, you can't get them off. You send...
No, we'll sell them something to take it off after the campaign.
Yeah, we'll find a product.
Yeah, we'll get something.
Detergent. Okay, anyway, if you'd like a Wally Ballou bumper sticker, send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Bob and Ray, Box 710, WOR Radio, New York 10018.
Let me write that down. I'll send it to my friends up in New England.
There's the address, Mary. Why don't you read it as you write it down?
That's Bob and Ray.
Right.
Box 710.
That neat, the way they got Box 710?
Well, that's just what WOR is on the dial.
On the dial, right.
Isn't that clever?
I think so.
I just shiver when I'm in the presence of greatness like that. People really think here. And then that's WOR Radio.
Right.
New York 10018. Fine.
118 for a Wally Ballou bumper sticker. They're ready now. Just send a self-addressed stamped envelope. Well, I've got to go with my entourage and visit a couple of other shows later this afternoon.
Okay.
I'll be popping up on programs all over the city. Oh, now, wait a minute.
Bet you won't.
This is exclusive with us. Oh, really? Yeah.
Would you please be quiet, please? Thank you.
Mr. Nat, my campaign manager, is here. You had a question?
Hey, listen.
Huh?
You know something?
What's that?
After all this time, me and you together fighting them, I don't even know how to reach you after 5 o'clock. I mean, could I have your home number?
Well, you could reach me here until 7. Right, I'll get my home number so you can reach me at any hour of the day or night.
Well, I got a big surprise for you. I got you on Meet the Presser.
On NBC?
Oh, no. That's the Amalgamated Clothing guys down in the Union Hall.
Uh-huh. Thanks, Mr. Nat. This is radio's flaxen-haired, albeit balding, Wally Ballou, here in behalf of the campaign to get transistor radios in every home. Today, I'm talking with Clifford Fleming, who's making a door-to-door survey. Cliff, who are some of the people you made surveys for?
Most recently, I did some research for Uncle Flake's mint-flavored meatballs.
What do they want to know?
Well, they want to know why people never heard of their flakes, never tried them, and wouldn't try them if they could. They wanted to know why.
Well, did you find out?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what are you surveying today, Cliff?
Well, as you know, the transistor radio is a natural for any crisis situation. Tornadoes, blizzards, power blackouts, and the like. Now, 65% of American families have battery-operated radios. We want to know why the other 35% doesn't have them.
Well, have you found out anything yet?
No, I'm about to ring my first bell, though.
Yeah?
Sir, I'm making a survey.
I won't answer any more questions about mint-flavored meatballs. Watch your hand.
And Ray, I know Bob's asleep over in the corner. Now, if you want to continue with the program, Ray, are you ready? Look, these girls that call you all the time. Look, I hope your wife doesn't mind all these gals that are calling you all through this program. I hope she's broad-minded, because I'm sure there's nothing untoward taking place. Now, I'd like to speak to you,
Henry.
No, I'd like to speak to you and Bob
It
about
is
something.
for you. He doesn't want to come to the phone.
Will you tell her to hold, please?
Would you hold just a second?
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, I'll be back. Bob and Ray, I'm shocked beyond measure, really. I mean, here you put on this great campaign for Wallace Ballou for mayor. You know, I've been listening to all the reports from all the polls. I have yet to hear the name Ballou mentioned. What has happened to your infamous candidate?
Well, don't you realize he's an independent? He didn't have any primary.
Independent of what?
He's an independent party member of the fictional party.
Oh, it's fictional.
Right.
Oh, yes.
See?
I begin to think he's a fictional character.
Well, don't let him hear.
Well, all right. Will you wake Bob up?
I will.
Yeah.
So long, Henry.
Yes, get off the phone yourself.
Awfully sweet person. One of the nicest guys.
Thanks a lot.
The last of the great broadcasters. And now we're back with Bob and Ray.
We're on the air waiting for a report from our correspondent, Wally Ballou, from the world-famous Boca Raton Hotel and Club in Boca Raton, Florida.
Ray, we've got a terrific show today. The Boca Raton Hotel is the site of the 28th Annual International Festival of Kazoo Players. Can you imagine that?
And they are from all over the world, Bob, more than 1,000 of them. I had no idea kazoos played such a big role in modern life.
Oh, it does boggle the mind. 1,500 kazooers. Or is it kazooists?
We'll ask Wally. He's on the air now. Wally? Wally?
Lee Ballou speaking to you from the fabulous Boca Raton Hotel and Club in Boca Raton, Florida. This has to be the most fantastic hotel I've ever seen.
Wally?
Stately palms waving over gorgeous grounds, priceless antiques, old-world decor and charm.
Wally?
All overlooking the blue Atlantic. 200 cabanas, a sparkling white beach.
Wally!
Yes, Ray?
Look, everybody knows about the Boca Raton Hotel.
And, well, they should, Ray. When you think of the majestic cathedral dining room, the blend of modern convenience with Spanish charm...
Wally?
Yes, Ray?
Look, we sent you to Florida to report on kazoos.
Well, I planned on getting to that. It's fascinating. I've got the report right here, as a matter of fact. The kazoo is a musical instrument consisting of a tube, open at both ends, with a hole in the side covered with parchment, against which the performer sings or hums.
Well, that's it, Wally. I mean, that's your report?
Well, Ray, there's not a whole lot you can say about kazoos.
Well, look, Wally, we promised the audience a terrific show, and you've let us down again. You've been in Florida 3 days, and you've done nothing.
No, Ray, that's not true. I've played golf. They've got 4 championship courses. I've played tennis, 36 great tennis courts. I've shot skeet. I got a rub down. I had lunch at the Cabana Club. 7 restaurants here. The one in the tower is a view that'll knock your eyes out. Ray, you just don't call that doing nothing.
Wally, my notes say you're to interview the president of the Kazoo Association.
Well, I planned to, but he's out deep-sea fishing. This hotel overlooks the Gulf Stream, you know. The fishing is fabulous. They've got a whole fleet.
Well, what about this other interview, the winner of the Silver Kazoo competition?
I'm glad you brought that up, Bob.
Ray, I'm Ray.
Ray, you won't believe the problems. Huziki Suzuki happens to be Japanese, doesn't speak a word of English. But on the kazoo, you can't imagine the music he makes on that little instrument.
Well, now that's better, Wally. And you have him there with you, do you?
No, he's shopping. Fabulous shopping here. But he was here to make a recording of his performance.
Well, now that's good thinking, Wally. Let's hear it.
Well, we would, Ray, except, well, you know, to record, you got to push down both of the little buttons.
Well, Wally, it looks like you've botched it again. Your job is really on the line.
What I can do, I have a kazoo here, the same type Suzuki played, and I can give you my rendition of his song.
Wait, Wally, I can't believe a Japanese played Tut Tut Tootsie Goodbye.
All right, Ray. Actually, he played some dainty little Japanese piece. All I wanted was for you to get the feel of it.
Wally, surely you must have somebody there you can interview. Holy...
No, Ray, I'm standing here all alone outside the hotel's great hall. Wait a minute. Sir?
Yeah?
I see you're carrying a kazoo. Are you a kazoo player?
Oh, nine, my boy. I'm the world-famous psychiatrist, Professor Hummel.
Aha. Well, if I may ask, just what's your connection with the kazoo convention?
Convention? We don't call them conventions no more.
Oh?
No, we call them group meetings. It had to do with the wife. Convention, the wife says, whoop-de-doo buster. You ain't going to no convention without me, you know?
Well, just what do you do here at the group meeting, then?
Well, now, Dumkov, what do you think we do at a group meeting? We sit around and meet in the group. Watch out there. Step aside. Look at that. Those big bookends don't care for nothing.
This is Wally Ballou at the Boca Raton Hotel.
Say, Wally, can you speak up? We can hardly hear you. It sounds like you're in the middle of a herd of elephants.
I can't hear you, Ray. It's this herd of elephants I'm in the middle of. Bob, Ray, they're marching. Would you believe that? 2 by 2 in perfect step into the great hall of the hotel. Big doors are opening. I'm walking into the hall now. Bob, Ray, this is truly an impressive sight.
Elephants? It must be an impressive sight.
It's not the elephants, Ray. It's the Great Hall. Never seen anything like it. The ceiling is 22 feet high. They have a hydraulic stage. Activity going on everywhere. The elephants must be part of the big show they're rehearsing. Here's a gentleman who seems to be in charge. Sir?
Get the elephants quiet, okay? Make those elephants get quiet.
Sir?
Indians to make up. Will someone please get the Indians to make up? Script girl? God, nothing's ever simple.
Excuse me, sir. I'm Wally Ballou. I'm here on an assignment.
Is the Grand Kazoo Chorus ready?
Wally Ballou, is it? Well, 22 kazoos to you, Wally. Dudley Doodleman, Wally, director of the 28th Annual Extravaganza, Kazoos Through History.
You've staged this show every year for 28 years?
No, we've planned it every year, but until now, we've never found a hotel which could handle it. The Boca Raton Hotel is out of sight. We can do things here we couldn't do anywhere else.
Well, it looks like a fantastic show, all right, but how do elephants fit into an extravaganza about kazoos?
Well, the elephants are one of our big numbers, Wally. They're on stage with Hannibal, who carries the golden kazoos to the Chinese. We follow that with a very touching scene where the Chinese, in their appreciation, give the Western world the secrets of gunpowder and chop suey.
Mr. Doodleman, Hannibal crossed the Alps. Marco Polo visited China.
Well, Wally, we take a few liberties. Now, in another big scene, we have the friendly Indians showing the pilgrims how to make kazoos. And then Washington's throwing the kazoo across the Delaware, and then we take the kazoo all the way to modern times, right to the astronauts planting the first kazoo on the moon.
This is a fantastic show.
Wally, this is nothing. What's really fantastic is the Boca Raton Hotel. You can always find dancing elephants, but where can you find a hotel with beauty and charm and facilities like this? Oh, hold the kazoo chorus. We have to get the lights right. Now, Charlie, when the kazooers march in, I want the trooper spot to be crisscrossing. You follow that? Now, if you have problems, ask the hotel people. They'll show you. It's amazing. The hotel people are so cooperative here.
Mr. Doodleman, I guess your production is the most extravagant they've ever had here.
Wally, they've staged a full circus here. They could handle the road company of War and Peace in this hall. I never dreamed what could be done here. Can you imagine what we'll be doing next year? Anthony on the barge, 100 slaves playing sweet kazoo to Cleopatra, Nero kazooing while Rome burns, Moses bring the kazoo down from the mountain, little Abraham Lincoln playing the kazoo by the fire in his log cabin, Thomas Edison inventing the electric kazoo.
Today,
Where you going, Wally?
Well, I'm just tired. I've had a tough day on the phone, and I just met Lester Smith in the hall, and he's quite excited about the campaign. And I thought I'd get a good night's sleep.
How about the other people? Is Mr. Beam or Mr. Wagner or Lindsay?
They don't seem to be talking.
Governor Rockefeller or Boss Tweed? Anybody call you?
No, I walked through Governor Rockefeller's street the other day and hung around there in front of his office, but they just told me to move on.
Uh-huh. You mean up on 52nd?
55th.
55th, wherever that is. It's where the people are milling around all the time.
Yeah. Well, he said, move along, the officer said. I said, I'm Wally Ballou, a candidate for mayor. He says, move along, he said.
Did he see your press card and your hat and everything?
I think he did. I've got to get a new one of those. That one...
Trying to date you there.
It's getting rumpled.
You look a little like Lee Tracy walking around with
the front page.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. No, you can go, though, Wally.
Go ahead, Wally. Take the rest of the evening off.
I'll be in early tomorrow.
Fine.
I've observed that your candidate, Mr. Wallace Ballou, has no consideration for ecology whatsoever. I have noticed that on his new car that he has, there are no emission controls, or if there were on that car, he has had them removed. That is something that's just beyond comprehension. A man running for office, not concerned with ecology, not concerned with the welfare of the people, the health of the people. I am ashamed beyond measure that you will boost the candidacy of such a man. And with that little thought, I wish to leave you.
You know, he is so confused. Ballou doesn't have a car.
Well, where does he get this information?
We're
speaking now of Henry Gladstone, who just left moments ago.
I don't know where he just makes it up, I think.
Oh, I don't think so. He must. Somebody must have said that's Wally Ballou's car without emission controls.
Well,
and how can you tell if a car doesn't have emission controls anyway?
Or must have had them removed.
I can't tell. I can't tell unless I climb under the engine, and even then
I wouldn't know if I did.
Right.
No, Ballou is campaigning by bicycle, and that is his method of transportation other than public surface and subway transportation. Hey.
Yes,
Wally. How's everything going?
Fine.
Where's everybody?
All over the TST, I guess.
Across the street there, right?
The tap. Yeah.
That's becoming a very popular spot. I saw.
Seems like the entire crew and personnel of Radio New York hangs out in there.
Seems very empty in here. Like I saw Charles Napoleon over there, and Ken is there all the time.
Did you notice that cape that Charles the poet is wearing now?
That the same one he's worn all these years?
No, it looks like a new one, but it gives him that dramatic effect, doesn't it? I think it's a little too long. It kind of drags in the street.
Well, I know. It's not like Cyrano by any means.
No.
Because he does wear the Cyrano hat with it, which is kind of...
Well,
attracts attention.
That's kind of a panache, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, well, it has a panache in it.
Oh.
Well, I've got to go out and round up some more votes.
Wally, do I have a feeling that you're not really putting your heart into this campaign for mayor?
No,
you don't seem to, have all the fire that you had way back when you were pounding the table and saying you're going to be your own man.
I am.
I think suddenly you've discovered that being your own man isn't too much fun.
Ray, I'll tell you, politics it's a tough game.
And they make strange bedfellows.
Who does?
Politics. Haven't you ever heard that?
Sure. No, I'll have to ask Dr. Stapley about that.
Hi, everybody. Would you like this? I just made some of these doggies in a biscuit.
What?
Dogs. Little hot dogs.
Oh, yeah.
In a biscuit.
Yes, well, I'm trying
to... What do they call those down south?
Dogs in a biscuit.
Oh, how quaint.
They have cute phrases for things down there. I'm trying to watch my weight, though. They're a little fat.
I had so much fun. I was over at the tap a little while ago. And so many of your friends were over there. We got to laughing, giggling. Kent Lyle Birdley is a panic, let me tell you. He was telling stories about dragonfly. He told a story. He said, if athletes get athlete's foot, you won't believe this. He said...
Do astronauts get mistletoe?
Have you heard it?
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that funny?
Yeah. Did they laugh at that over there?
He had them. The bartender there was on the floor laughing.
Kent didn't know whether he had told it correctly. He didn't get much of a laugh here with it.
Right.
I just came over for a minute.
Yeah.
I've got to get right back, but I just wanted to tell you one that was going around over there right now.
Where, at the tap?
Yes.
Go ahead.
You can depend on fat men. They'll never stoop to anything low.
That's a pretty good one.
Right.
Had them all laughing over there. So long.
So long, Ken.
Say hello, Charles the poet and Carmine.
All the rest.
Well, now, thank you, Lyle. That does bring up a point. Mr. Ballou, Wally?
Yes, all right.
Is there any substance to what this gentleman just said, Mr. Van?
None whatsoever, Ray.
Why don't you go over here and come on microphone?
Oh, sure.
For broadcast, you have absolutely the worst microphone technique of all time.
I was sitting over there in the peanut gallery.
You're almost as bad as those fellows on the Long Island. Have you ridden the Long Island Railroad lately?
No.
They have an intercom system on there. And they get on that thing and they scream, and it's piercing. Why doesn't somebody tell them to turn it down to 2, that everybody isn't deaf?
Right.
Isn't that a good point for the Long Island to listen to me today? Thank you. Now, Mr. Ballou. Mr. Ballou.
Yes, right.
Is it true that what Lyle says? I mean,
Absolutely not. If that's the rumor that's going around the newsroom that I'm backing out of the mayoral race, it is completely...
Throwing in the towel is the phrase he used.
Not throwing in the towel in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I stand on that statement as of this date.
All right. Okay, Wally, just want to...
I'm going back to the peanut gallery. I get a good view of this whole show from up here.
The peanut gallery, of course, is for our little audience. It comes in later after school is out. I guess school is out now. They should be filing in, the little fellas.
Right.
And maybe we'll run some cartoons for them today.
Hello, we're Bob and Ray here at Radio New York, and we'd like to take just a moment for the benefit of you folks here in our studio audience to remind you that our new coffee shop right here in the building is celebrating its first week in April. First week in April celebration, I think they call it.
An April spring special.
Yeah.
And we have free balloons for the ladies and free orchids for the kiddies today.
That'd certainly be
It's orchids for the ladies. And,
orchids for the ladies, yes.
Balloons for the kids.
Trying to think what was wrong with that. Yeah. I think that'll work out all right, the way we finally...
But anyway, the coffee shop is the first door on your left as you leave the studio.
I guess so. The door on the left is the one that just opens into the wall of the building next to the flowers, right?
Right. And as I recall, there's enough space between the buildings for a person to stumble and drop a fairly long distance. So be sure to make the first door on the right. Incidentally, do you happen to know what the special of the day is at the coffee shop?
I stopped down there a few minutes ago and picked up one of their handsomely lithographed menus. And if you can find the special here, you're doing very well. I can't.
We decided to put it in among the club sandwiches.
Let me see. Oh, yes, sir. Here it is. The special of the day is tuna fish enchilada.
Why, that sounds delicious, even though I don't believe I've ever had one.
It's different. I don't think I ever had one either. It's just that you ordered all that tuna fish, you know,
right.
And then we hired the Mexican chef who isn't too good at anything but enchiladas, so we made the best of an awkward situation. That's how it
Well,
was.
it sounds ideal for people who are watching their weight, and I noticed that the price for the special on the dinner is $2.95. What all does the dinner include? Anyway?
Well, I'm not real sure about that. I know you get the enchilada,
right.
And I think water and a napkin and silverware come with it.
But no soup or anything like that?
No, soup is 25 cents extra, or 30 with crackers.
I thought we decided not to charge for the crackers.
Well, we hadn't planned to, but you'll remember we were racking our brains trying to think of some way to make the coffee shop distinctive, and charging extra for the crackers was the only thing I could come up with.
Well, I'm not criticizing the idea. In fact, I imagine the Bob and Ray Coffee Shop is the only restaurant in New York that charges extra for its crackers, that's all.
It may be. I thought we could use that as a kind of a gimmick in our advertising.
Well, it's
later on, you know.
The most distinctive thing about the place.
The crackers.
I mean, I'm sure there must be other restaurants in New York that have Formica top counters and Argahide stools and things like that.
Oh, hundreds of them.
Of course, our tuna fish enchiladas are a little distinctive, too, you know.
Yeah, but that's only a special for today.
Yeah.
By the time we get the advertising campaign started, it would be at least tomorrow.
Right.
So I think crackers are a better thing for the long pull.
Yeah, and of course, it's the long pull that we have to keep in mind. But to keep us in business long enough for the long pull, let me urge all of you once again to drop by the coffee shop after the show. We have plenty of vacant stools and assure you that there'll be no waiting. Thank you very much.
Remember, it's the first door on your right as you leave. Don't take that left door.
This is Radio's Wally Ballou on behalf of a transistor radio in every home. Greeting you from Fogg Stadium, where our old friend Elwood Pop Hedge, sportscaster, is conducting his regular baseball broadcast. Pop, how's the game going?
0-2 on the batter right now.
Uh-huh.
You know, I tell jokes up here when the game gets dull, and
Want to amuse yourself or the listeners?
Most of the fans come out here, they bring a transistor radio.
Uh-huh.
Wait a second, Wally. You have fans? I think it's time for a joke. My brother's a big inventor. He crossed an intersection with a convertible and got a blonde.
They really like that one, Elwood.
Whoops, he's out at first.
I didn't realize this many people carried transistors with them.
Oh, sure. They just can't believe their eyes. They have to hear the announcer describe the play that they're watching. Transistor radios are great.
Tell them one more.
You hear about one cannibal said to the other cannibal? He said, you know, I don't like your brother-in-law. And the other one says, well, just eat the noodles.
And we have a few minutes here, Bob. Maybe we could remind the folks of the coffee shop.
The condition over there. We have a Bob and Ray coffee shop that we set up down the hall for the convenience of our audience during and after the show. For a limited time, we have one minor inconvenience that, it sort of takes the edge off the more convenient part of the convenience. The water in the coffee shop has been shut off.
Oh, then that final notice we got from the company wasn't just a bluff,
No. Remember, we talked it over and decided the company had to be kidding. Apparently, we misjudged the situation, and we had our last faucet drip about 3:20 this morning, I'm told.
Well, I suppose there's bound to be quite a bit of litigation now. Do you think we ought to serve bottled water or something else in the meantime?
Well, I've called for bids on both bottled water and root beer. It's a little hard to make a decision. The way it comes out, root beer is more economical as a beverage, but it's not as satisfactory for washing the dishes. And I personally think maybe the water would be the better.
That really does leave us up in the air. What do you think we ought to do?
I think we've whipped the dishwashing problem with paper plates, but it's too early to tell how the public's going to react to dry, powdered, instant coffee as our beverage.
Well, with cream and sugar, it should form at least a paste of some kind.
Yeah. Well, it comes out a little like caramel.
Yeah.
Except it doesn't taste anything like one, of course.
Oh, incidentally, did you happen to notice what the special of the day was when you were down there?
Yes, the special of the day is a boiled potato sprinkled with ground parsley at $1.95.
Oh, really? Gee, I sometimes wonder how we're able to offer such bargains, you know?
Well,
of course,
it's not easy in this day and age.
I'm also inclined to wonder how the chef is able to boil potatoes without any water.
Well, fortunately, I caught him before he left home, and he brought a bucket of water with him this morning. He said quite a few people stared at him on the subway, but there was no real commotion until some gentleman stepped in the bucket. That
Oh, I see. I suppose that'll lead to some litigation, too.
Well, our lawyer is hoping to, he's in Philadelphia, is hoping to combine that litigation with our water company problem and make one big confusing case out of the whole thing.
I think that's wise.
I think he'll be able to do that.
I just hope the health department doesn't get involved in the thing when he finds out that we're boiling our potatoes in the same water this man stepped in, you know.
Well, I don't know what the ruling on that would be. Of course, the potatoes are peeled before we serve them. I'm afraid there isn't any getting around the fact that the gentleman's shoe is still in the bottom of the bucket.
Oh,
we do have to admit that.
I didn't realize he'd left his shoe.
Yeah, as I understand, it was the only way he could get his foot out without riding past his station.
Oh, well, I don't think having the shoe in there would create a health hazard anyway. As you say, we peel the potatoes before serving.
No. At the worst, it creates sort of a beef broth kind of effect.
Right.
So I hope all you folks will drop by the coffee shop for a delicious boiled potato on the way out. And I might add, there's no extra charge for the ground parsley on top.
And you know how limited parsley is nowadays, so it'll have to be first come, first served on that.
But with or without parsley, the low price remains in effect. So either way, your patronage is vital. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Either way, we thank you.
Very much indeed. I don't wish to have anything to do. You implied, I think, that I was endorsing his candidacy with financial aid. I have never been known to help anyone with financial aid, and certainly not Mr. Wallace Ballou.
You are going on the record then as definitely stating that you have no financial interest in Mr. Ballou's campaign.
Not only that, I am violently opposed to Mr. Wallace Ballou as a candidate for mayor.
We have proof that you're the hidden financial backer of Mr. Ballou, Mr. Gladstone. And we'll pursue.
You may have to prove that in court.
We'll be glad to do it. There we go. He's steaming mad again tonight. He's really steaming. He still wears that T-shirt that says, "Here comes WOR" on the front, and on the back says, "There goes."
What he doesn't know is that it now says Wally Ballou for mayor is stuck on the back of his T-shirt.
Don't tell him that it's on his T-shirt. Yeah. That's the funniest part.
That is.
Once again, outside the window of the isolation booth. Let's see who's interesting here. This fellow here had his hand up just before he went on the air. How do you do, sir?
How do you do?
Where's your home?
Far west.
And what do you do?
I design and erect beaver dams.
You design and erect beaver dams? I thought this was left pretty much to the beavers, sir.
No, I think that's a fallacy, fella, that probably it's time now that we explode. Beavers are very lazy.
Is that so?
Only for fellows who are interested in the subject, such as myself and a few others, beavers wouldn't have any dams at all.
Do you mean that you go from place to place where a logical spot for a beaver dam develops and you build it?
That's right. We chop it down, makes it look like they've been nibbling at it with their teeth. As a matter of fact,
How do you do that?
Wood. We nibble at it ourselves to give it a real effect. And we put it in and make the dams.
And then you service them thereafter, huh?
Yes.
Who pays you for this?
We're underwritten by ourselves. We're all very wealthy, and we...
More or less of a hobby, eh?
That's right.
And
keeps us out of trouble, actually.
What are you doing here in New York?
You know, the beavers have a saying that, particularly about people like myself and my friends, they say... when another beaver shows a little ambition, a little spunk, they say, "Why, that fellow, he works like a human being."
I see. Well, good luck to you and to the beavers, and I think we've seen a little-known side
just
of
I hope I've exploded that thing.
I think you have.
Sky high.
Very well, and I hope you continue enjoying your visit here.
That's the stock market report and the news. And, gentlemen, I have a bone to pick with both of you.
Okay, go ahead,
All
Henry.
right, Henry.
Well, right here.
Just try to keep your voice down and calm.
Well modulated.
We'll talk to you about anything.
It's very difficult in conversing with either of you two who are both prejudiced in favor of that Mr. Ballou to keep my voice down.
So just keep it well.
I mean, there is nothing more irritating than that Ballou. And I am irritated tonight beyond measure.
Did you say Cat Ballou?
No, I said Wallace Ballou.
It's
Wallace Ballou.
It's Wally.
Your candidate for
there
mayor.
He goes again.
See, he's starting right
Our
now.
listeners may or may not know.
Now, just raising
But
your voice.
outside in our corridor, we have portraits of all the various performers on WOR.
Yes?
Now, someone, in the middle of the night, last night, took the deliberate action of putting Mr. Wallace Ballou's photograph next to mine and pinned a Wallace Ballou button on my photograph.
Hey, well, they have
Now, I object to that sort of subversive activity.
Boy, that's
by
great.
anyone, including you, too.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not going to take that kind of stuff from either you
Can you
or
hear him?
Ballou.
Can you hear him?
Good night.
Good night, Henry.
Oh, he's a barrel.
Awfully sweet, mild-mannered man. And he's really, I can't believe it's not the same Henry when he does that.
No, I know. He's wearing his Superman T-shirt under his smock today.
Because that's not like Henry. I don't know what's bothering him about this campaign. Something.
Been a clean campaign so far, I'll say that for Wally.
I noticed the pictures have been moved, but I didn't see any pin or anything. I do know that somebody put a Band-Aid on Henry's picture one time, too.
But we do know about
And they never did catch us, did they?
No, we know.
Mr. Ballou? I assume you there in the control room are my constituents.
Well, you seem to be
your
exuding great confidence, Wally.
Ray, my confidence is building day by day. I feel more and more as if this coming mayoral race is going to be an exciting one right down to the finish, and then I'll certainly be right in there making a good showing, if not the win that I do hope to make.
Have you heard from anybody else, Mr. Markey or Mr. Procaccino?
No, none of the other candidates have seen fit to even acknowledge that I'm in the race, but they will when my campaign headquarters opens down the stairs here, and when my staff gets busy with the bumper stickers and the buttons, the various things that will be part of the campaign.
You haven't mentioned money.
Money is a problem that we're working on, Ray.
I think that's the problem with every candidate, I suppose. But inasmuch as you have all this radio time available to you, won't you incur the jealousy, the wrath of the other men running?
Well, I don't know. That's.
I mean, let's be honest.
First, they've got to come out and acknowledge that I'm running. If I get on here every day and say I'm running for mayor, and they don't say anything about it, I don't think we have to give them any time.
All right. Just want to make that clear, you know.
I'll speak to the powers about it, but so far I think I'm in the clear.
Uh-huh. Okay, Wally.
I gave up on money from you guys. You're not going to come.
We don't have it.
Tax time.
Mr. Blue, I do not want to ask any questions, but I have one in mind.
Yeah.
What subway would I take to go to the Bronx?
I'm glad you asked me that question, Carmine, because I did do a little bit of checking, and you could take an A train or a D train to the Bronx.
That's right.
Is that correct, you folks? Right. So I hope that answers your question. And if you have any more questions, Carmine, please be free to just drop in or stop me in the corridor or anywhere and ask them of me, because I'm here to answer anyone's question.
Wally Blue is surrounded by his coterie of men. They all wear these camel's hair coats, you know, with the big belt.
And the wide-brimmed hats.
Yeah.
they really dug up these fellas.
They really cut a swath through the hall, these characters.
I've never seen them before. And one of them must be 6'9".
Yeah, that's his bodyguard.
And about this wide.
Yeah, looks like a truck.
Oh.
Right.
He's really in good shape.
I never figured Wally Blue for that kind of thing.
I get a big kick out of Wally.
And the limousine downstairs goes from 40th to 41st Street. And that's just the front seat.
And Mr. Ballou, he did not show at Mr. Beam's press conference. Neither did he show on the steps of Gracie Mansion with Mario Biaggi. He's just a complete bust. I don't know how you can possibly endorse a man of that nature.
Henry?
And not only that, he's
Henry. Down, Henry. Down. Now, we checked what you said yesterday about him having no emission controls on his car.
Yes.
That was wrong. He does have an emission control.
Have you tried following him down the street? You'd be gassed.
Well, he's been riding a bicycle.
Be careful how I use that.
Who was gassed? I don't know.
Be careful how you use that expression.
Same. Who knows?
Well, I've warned him. I'm going to sick the dogs on him again. Go get him, boy. Go get him.
Now he's running down the hall.
Look at Henry run.
Dog's right at his heels.
He can really move when the dog's chasing
Even
him.
with the smock on.
Wow, I'll say. All those Dobermans, if they get him, you know. Oh, you got to move.
Saluting James Buchanan with a story. Wait just a minute. Hello? Bob?
Hello there.
Hello?
Hey, Ray?
No, this is Bob.
How are you? Hey, look, this is Steve Bosco.
Hey.
Get off the phone with
Hi,
her. I
Steve.
want to talk to Bob.
No, this is Bob.
Bob?
Steve? Yeah.
It's Steve
How are you?
Bosco.
Where are you?
How are you?
Fine.
How is everything going?
Huh?
Hello?
I can't
Hello,
hear.
operator. I've been cut off here.
No,
Hello?
I can hear you all right.
Hello, Bob?
Yes.
This
hello.
is Steve Bosco.
How are you, Steve?
How's everybody?
Oh, you sound good. Really.
Where's the bell, huh?
Fresh and clear, yeah.
Well, we're having a
You
wonderful
must be living the good life, huh?
Operator, I've been cut off here. cut in, please.
No.
Hello,
He's
operator.
all right.
Look, this is an important call.
We've got a call from Steve Bosco on the wire,
Why
ladies
can't
and
I
gentlemen.
put through one simple call? Hey,
He
operator?
evidently is having a little
What's
bit
wrong?
of difficulty with the operator. I can hear him.
Hello,
perfectly,
Bob?
Hello?
Hello there. This
Right.
is Steve Bosco.
Yeah.
Bob, how are you?
Fine. How are you?
How's everybody?
Good. You sound clear and fresh. You must be living the good life, huh?
Well, we're having a wonderful spring season time down south this year,
Oh, you're
Bob.
in Florida now, huh?
Yeah, that's right. I made all the rounds, all the training camps out in Arizona and down in Florida.
Wonderful. Going to be a big year for baseball, and we hope
Well,
that...
I think so. I'm a little amazed, though. I was watching the Dodgers down in Miami play one of those stilts. I was amazed to see their caps.
What do you mean?
Well, they have the initials of Love Alston on them this year, and I'm a little confused by all that.
No,
It
that's
just
Los
says LA.
Angeles. Steve?
Hello, Bob?
No,
Will
hello.
you get off the phone right? Let me talk to Bob.
You're on the wrong track, Steve.
Good,
You
Ray. It
haven't
was
got
good to
your
talk
facts.
with you, but put on Bob, will you?
This is Bob.
Hi, Bob. Steve.
Yeah, well, look.
Hey, you know what the Dodgers are wearing on their hats this
Yeah,
year?
L.A.
Yeah, Love Alston.
No.
How's everything going
Look,
for you?
will you check up
I was
during
out
the week?
in Arizona, and I saw the Giants, too.
Yeah.
They got Sink Perillo on their caps this year.
Yes, okay. Well, look, get your facts straight and then call back next
Bob.
week, will you, please?
Bob.
Yeah.
Little trouble.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, the district attorney down here has given me till 5 o'clock to cough up $380.
I just finished saying you're living a good life down there.
So would you send
straight and narrow.
$380, please, to the most expensive hotel in Sarasota?
We'll talk to you after we sign off, all right?
Thank you.
Look, you can't keep this kind of thing up. Back inside.
Ray, will you be quiet, please? This is Steve
Bob.
Bosco.
Look, Steve,
Hello.
You just can't keep charging stuff to us.
Hi. How are you? This is Steve Bosco. Hello. This is Steve Bosco rounding third beak, thrown out at home.
Spotlight now on another Bob and Ray staff employee, Mr. Leonard P. Harkness. We like from time to time to introduce you to people who have jobs you may not know exist in our operation. And Leonard, you are working in the Bob and Ray commissary. Is that correct?
That's right, yes.
And you told us you were a shrimp devainer.
That's right, Bob.
How long have you been at this interesting
It's
work?
not hard work. I mean, I picked it up right away. I applied. There was a big ad, you remember, in the paper you fellas
Yes.
ran, and I answered it, and I had all the qualifications, I guess. See, I can devein him quick as a wink.
Well, you must have had
quick
some
as you
kind
can
of...
say, Bob's your uncle.
You must have had some kind of... Are you English, Leonard? That's
No.
kind of an English expression, isn't it?
No.
Yeah,
I had an English father and an Egyptian mummy.
Uh-huh.
One of those commissary jokes that we pull down there.
I can understand. Now,
I like show business.
Well, good. That's...
I used to be a Brazil nutsheller, Bob, before I came on this particular job.
How did you happen to give that up? Were you fired or didn't
No,
like
it was
or
just a matter of quitting. I hurt myself. I used to hit my hands a lot with those small ball-peen hammers.
Oh, yes.
And I worked as a goo-goot picker.
A goo-goots picker?
Yeah. You know what that is?
Well, I know.
Not many people do, you know.
I know. Goo-goots is a kind of a squash, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a long squash.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, I was working as a goo-goots picker during my, shall we say, inebriated period.
Yes.
And it was a bit much to go out there, you know, picking squashes when I
Had one of your own.
Well, Bob, I know why you're a comedian.
We certainly have. You have had an interesting background, an interesting career, and now, of course, you've capped it, really, the biggest job of your life as a shrimp devainer here in the Bob and Ray commissary.
Well, I think it was my biggest job.
It
I
wasn't?
think last year when I spent 3 weeks as a nuclear biophysicist, by all means, was the most interesting.
Holy smoke. You mean you quit that and went in for the work you're doing now?
Yeah.
If you're equipped to...
Well, it was dull, tedious work, and I found it a little tough for me. See, I had a great school education.
Oh, well, that would have shown up quite
Showed up the
quickly,
first week.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Well, first day.
I think you do.
I mean, I got the white jacket on wrong.
You're due back in the commissary now, Leonard P. Harkness, and
I know
we're
I
all
am.
having shrimp cocktail for dinner, and
Right.
I think it would be good if you got busy and...
Okay, Bobby. Boy, I know why you're a comic.
Help out Chef Ratner down there, and until...
Oh, there's a real mean guy.
Till our next interview with a Bob and Ray staff employee, it's goodbye and good luck.
And the news. And gentlemen, I hate to report this to you. I'm sure you'll be ashamed and terribly embarrassed. As I walked out earlier this evening into the corridor here at WOR where we have vending machines.
Yes.
The man was refilling the vending machines.
Yes.
The man in charge of vending machines here.
Yes.
And he pointed out that he had just seen Wallace Ballou leave the vending machine and immediately found a slug. I can't believe it. It's just beyond comprehension.
Oh, Henry.
That he would, sort of a guy would sneak under a turnstile in the subway.
Oh.
I mean, I'm just through where they have another person.
Henry.
I just can't believe it.
I can't believe it either, Henry, and I think it's just one of your
That is
far-fetched stories.
And there's Henry standing there with a roll of Ballou for Mayor posters under his arm.
Right.
You know what I'm going to do with them?
Yes, give them out over the weekend.
Of course he is.
To your many friends who have requested them.
And,
there's no proof that slug came from Ballou just because it was a slug in the machine.
you know, I've often said Henry is the only newscaster I know who gets his hands dirty while he, does a newscast. I don't know how he does it.
You know, sound effects are a very important part of a radio station's operation and, naturally, a network's operation. Today, we have with us a sound effects salesman who we thought you might like to hear.
Sorry, I was late.
It's all right. Come on in, sit down. That's one of your sound effects you use right there, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Is
I was
that
sitting here all the time.
I know.
Just got a little trade joke.
Want to open it and close it again? It seems to me that it's a big improvement over the old one.
Well, I tell you what we've done
That's
this year.
good. It's a little bassy, though, isn't it?
Well, that's just the idea. It's to give the effect of a bigger room. It's a deeper door box than we've had before.
Yeah.
I wanted to let you in on a little special we got this week. Your buyer hasn't been calling us up regularly. We give you 14 peach baskets for the price of 10.
Oh,
Thereby you get 4 for nothing.
Will you break up one? Let's see how it sounds.
These are great. Listen to this.
Oh, yeah, that's...
See, it's a much extended sound. It'll crack for a much longer time. How you fixed for fight gongs?
Well, we're using them over here Friday nights and Wednesday nights.
You know, that's the hardest thing I have to sell. Everybody I go to, every sound effects buyer, they say, look, once you got a gong, you got a gong. It lasts forever.
Well, I'd like you to listen to this new, this one. This is the old one here that we've been using.
Oh.
It's no good, huh?
Now, listen to this one I got along here. See the clarity of the tone there and all the...
How much does that one
reverberate?
go?
That'll go for $36.50. How about, see, what else I could give you here?
Applause we need.
You do need applause?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard you. All right, listen to this. This was recorded at a Punch and Judy show after 75 kids had seen the performance.
I don't know. To me, it seems.
Do you use kid applause very much?
Very rarely. It seems to me as though it's thin. Doesn't sound very real.
Well, they're kids, you know. They don't.
Can you hear it again?
A lot of funny effects with that one.
Yeah, I suppose you could use that for different things.
Tell you what, I'll leave these around if you want to play with them. Try them out.
You don't have any old boing, do you?
No, I don't have one with me. I'll come back later with it.
Well, we broke the last one we had. How about Pops? For opening champagne bottles. See, New Year's Eve, we're going to have a big production here on this network.
Just the thing for you.
Let me hear it. No, it doesn't
That was,
sound well, now, do they miss like that?
Well, somebody opened the bottle before I came in here. See, it's kind of gone flat.
No, that won't do.
I'm embarrassed to sell that one myself.
Well, that is kind of a weak one, yes.
Yeah. So if you want any of this stuff, give me a call over at the Sound Lab.
Okay. Let's both of us go out through your new door. Oh, wait a minute. Open it. Oh, my finger caught it.
Finger there.
Yeah.
Well, what do they do at a remote rural firehouse? We thought now you might be interested in hearing a cribbage game being played at the Ogunquit, Maine Fire Department Firehouse.
Molly Ballou speaking. And the game has been on now for about 2 hours. And so far, it's tied 4 games to 4.
My crib's on the deal.
That's right. There you are.
Okay, throw them away. Throw these away. You
Your
cut.
crib, huh?
Yeah, you cut.
Okay.
Oh, there's a jack. We'll get 2 for that.
You. You'll need it. Let's see. 8.
15 for 2.
And another 7, 22 for 2.
25.
31 for 2.
I got 15-2.
I get one for the last card now.
Oh, yeah. 15-2, 15-4, 8 or 12.
15-6.
You don't need to look at mine. You can take my word for it.
19.
The two players of the playoff here.
19 on that
counting
one.
each other's hands. The left-hand player just got 19, and that would make him...
You can't have 19.
Somebody said he can't have 19.
That's my wife, Mr. Ballou.
What do you have to butt in on it for?
Well,
it looks as if a fight may start at any moment.
Let's see, I'll count it again. 15-2, 15-4.
Just counting it up again.
15-6, round of 3 is 9. 2 is 11 and 10. 7, 8, 9, 10, 15. No.
You don't know how to count. That's your big trouble.
Well, let's say 15-2, 15-4, 15-6. The run of 3 is 9. 15.
All you got is 8 there.
Well, let's see. 15.
And I got 12, and that puts me out.
Wait just a
See
minute.
him? Count them. Go on, count them there.
Well, let's see. You have 15-2. Oh, I can see 8. I don't see where you get 12 out of that.
See them 4 there?
Now, listen
2
here.
pair. That makes 4.
Wait just a minute. I've been playing cribbage here with you for a good many years. You don't have to start
12,
getting huffy
12
with me.
put me out.
That's about it. The game is over, and we'll have a further report on who the winner was at a later time.
And now, with his stirring theme, Old MacDonald Had a Farm, recorded on the piano by his wife, we present the Bob and Ray agriculture expert, Dean Archer Armstead, director of the Lackawanna, New York field station. Dean, it's a real pleasure to see you again. This is Friday. Today, we thought maybe it would be interesting if we handed over some of the mail to you and let you answer some of the farm problems and questions that have been submitted.
I think that'd be a very good idea if you just go ahead and read whatever.
Several people, Dean.
Try to answer. The questions that will be posed in communications.
Several people, Dean, have submitted samples of various twigs and leaves which they have found in their travels during vacation. I'd like to have you identify them. Open up the first
Well, the one you're holding in your hair now.
See what it is.
That's poison sumac.
Poison sumac. Here's a branch, some kind of looks like a vine of some sort.
That is some sort of a vine.
And can you identify it a little more clearly? I mean...
Well, it's a type of vine that grows in the eastern section of the North American continent. It extends all the way from Maryland, clear up into the Canadian provinces,
I see. All right. Our next one here is a shiny red leaf, a small leaf.
It's a maple leaf.
That's a maple leaf. And this one here, how about this?
Oak.
And this letter is very interesting. It says, I believe that during my vacation I stumbled upon a man-eating mulberry bush. I am submitting a piece of twig from it. Can you identify it as such?
Well, I don't believe that there is any man-eating mulberry bushes anymore. For a long period of time, we were very concerned about the man-eating mulberry bush. And they just went around for so many years, it caused so much trouble, and people didn't know what to do. I would recommend in this case that they write to me for a pamphlet, and a pamphlet of the return mail.
Mm-hmm. Dean Archer Armstead with the Agriculture Forum of the Air, direct from the Lackawanna Field Station. Thank you, Dean.
Very much.
Lee Ballou here in Times Square. I've discovered over the years that some of my best interviews have come from merely striking up a conversation with the man in the street. And this gentleman here looks as if he might have such a story. Could I have your name and what you do, sir?
Ward Smith. I grow cranberries on Cape Cod.
That's always interested me greatly. You have to be very careful of frost, don't you, when you grow cranberries?
Yes, you do. If there's danger of frost, you have to flood the bogs. And then you pick them when they're big and ripe and juicy and bitter as anything.
Well, now, after you harvest the cranberries, Mr. Smith, you have your own processing plant?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, do you have your own factory for squeezing the juice out of the cranberries?
Squeezing juice out of cranberries? I never heard of that.
For making cranberry juice cocktail, for instance.
Cranberry juice cocktail?
Well, you sell them to people to make jelly out of, or what?
What, is there pectin in them or something?
I don't know whether there's pectin in them, but they do make jelly. They make cranberry sauce. That's very delicious.
Sauce.
You get that with the whole berry in it, or you can
What is
get...
that, like a dessert you pour over ice cream?
No, you'd serve it with meat or poultry, something like that, kind of a side dish.
Say, do you have a pencil?
Yeah.
I'd like to write this down. I'll forget it. Surer than shooting.
Well, I think you are missing a lot of the uses for cranberries. Jelly, juice. J-U-I-C-E.
I thought there was a J in juice.
J-U-I-C-E. Cranberry sauce.
Oh, that's right.
Cranberry bread is very good.
Well, thank you, Mr. Ballou. You've opened my eyes to the many uses of cranberries.
Well, I'm glad I've been able to help you out. Can I ask you just one question before you
sure.
go? All of the years that you've been growing these things, Mr. Smith, what have you been doing with them?
Well, I've been selling them in a basket like strawberries, for cranberry shortcake. And they don't move that way.
I shouldn't imagine. Thank you for talking with me. Wally Ballou, back to the studio.